InfoPlus for genuine information.
Namaste everyone, I'm Rebecca Chetri and welcome to InfoPlus on Himalayan Television. Today we are privileged to have a distinguished guest with us, Anton Maslov, the first secretary of the Russian Embassy to Nepal. In this interview, we'll explore the current state of diplomatic relations between Russia and Nepal, discuss areas of collaborations and gain insight into the future of this important bilateral relationship.
Of monsoon periodical to winter periodical.
Which is your favorite month in Russia?
My favorite month?
Like also for the tourists if they would like to visit.
It doesn't matter which kind of region you are visiting. The best time is July, August.
Okay.
It's the brightest, the greenest, even if it's above Arctic circles, all the nature just rejuvenates. So
it's
you
see. It's the same for all the countries, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah. In Moscow, I like May. May is wonderful. Okay. Yes, everything's already like this, green.
Comment if you have to the people.
It's a very hard question.
To know more about Russia.
Well, it depends on which way you like it. If you like short stories, it's Anton Chekhov. If you like some novels, would you like me to show you?
Yeah, yes, please.
Well, the easiest is here. They can be these local editions, like I mentioned already. Some Soviet edition of Anton Chekhov, I think we might have in a collection. And here we have an exhibition dedicated to Russian famous poet Sergei Yesenin. That's his picture.
Wow. Beautiful pictures.
Beginning of 20th century.
Has a history, isn't it?
Indeed, they do.
Russia is also very much famous for ballet dance, isn't it?
Indeed, it is, yes, yeah.
And are we having any kind of special event here in Kathmandu?
Yes, in the end of September. Famous rock formations at the Russian Urals mountains.
Russia.
It's called the Three Twins. You see a human shape
Seems
here
like it has a
for the
huge
scale.
Meaning
Only natural.
Natural?
Yes. Buddhist region of Russia.
In Russia?
Completely Buddhist region,
Oh,
yes.
okay, beautiful.
You can see in the snow, this is a picture from St. Petersburg. In St. Petersburg we have a Datsun, which copy we are building right now in Lumbini.
So what does these mean?
It's an example of Russian handicraft.
Okay.
It's a traditional Russian handicraft. These colors, they have all their own names according to the region. We can put an analogy with Nepali Mithila art. Yes, you have it from Mithila coming,
Yes.
that's why it's called like
That's
this.
true.
So Russian, for example, this bright red, yellow, black colors called khokhloma. It's coming from the region in Russia where these kinds of decorations has been used, yes. This one, bluish white, is called Gele. It smells only in night.
After at night, yeah, while walking.
Exactly.
At night. It has a very good,
every
strong
evening
smell.
when I come back, I get this wonderful smell. It's such an amazing thing to me.
You can have a wonderful evening walk around
yes,
here
indeed.
with a cup of coffee.
Yeah. was completely, he grew up in Russia, he was raised as a Russian elite, so no problems with that. So he learned the fluent Russian language and he used it for writing poems. He is considered the founder of the contemporary Russian language. Of this banner is being placed at Lumbini area where the temple is being built at the moment right now.
It started on 2021.
2021, yes, and we plan to finish the main works on the building next year, 2025 already.
Info Plus for genuine information.
Namaste and Dobry din.
Namaste, здравствуйте.
Welcome to Info Plus on Himalayan Television. Professor I.P. Mainab Ontalis visited Nepal almost 150 years back as a Russian tourist. And Nepal and Russia share a very long bond. It's 68 years of diplomatic and bilateral relationship till now. So, as the first secretary to the Embassy of Russia to Nepal, how do you measure the gravity of this relationship till now?
The gravity is still very strong. The point that you mentioned, Professor Minaev, as a tourist visiting Nepal, is a very good picture of the relations between two countries. Because a person who visits Nepal even as a tourist, even just for sightseeing, in Russia it's almost a researcher. So the scientific research of Professor Minaev has started a whole school of Hindology, not only in Russia but in the whole Western world. He's been translated to German, he's been translated to other European languages, and this has created an interest for the Hindu culture and Himalayan culture in general as well. So to us, any Russian tourist who comes to Nepal, he is already a scientist and a researcher. He discovers a whole new world. And this position of Russian traveler is always fascinating, is always very interesting to grab to. So the visits to Nepal, the friendship relations between Russia and Nepal, they are always full of discoveries and full of new perspectives for research. For the period of 68 years that you have mentioned, both countries have gone through a very important changes in their political structures, in their historical development in general. So to those countries that established diplomatic relations, meaning the monarchy of Nepal and the Soviet Union, both of those countries are no more in the 21st century. But these friendship ties, these relations, they still continue. And what's more pleasant to us as the representatives of humanitarian cooperation is that this relationship focus has shifted to scientific and research areas. We have, last year, we have finished a 10-year project by Russian Geographical Society on geographical and geological research of Himalayan region in general. We have lots of cultural and educational projects going on right now between Nepal and Russia. Plus, Russia is holding lots of international events, not only in the capital city, but in the regions where Nepali delegation also take part. So I would say that in general, the ties, they still continue and they keep strengthening. And it's always a pleasure to observe it.
As I mentioned that a few projects are going on between two countries, could you mention those projects and what's the future plans? in what way are we collaborating together for the benefits of the students in education sector?
Like you point out yourself by your question, the main field of cooperation is in education, of course. There are attempts to establish some commercial relations. There are attempts to arrange some mutual projects, including industrial projects, but they are not easy to arrange, easy to confirm with both sides and to organize. So we are dealing with more like people-to-people diplomacy, people-to-people relations. And that helps us to realize a lot of humanitarian projects. Like in past 2-3 years, we can easily mention what I already said about Russian Geographical Society research project. We have established, initiated the volunteer mission called, in Russian it is called Missia Dobro, in Nepal, in English it is called Mission Kindness. So this is a project of Russian volunteer medical workers coming to Nepal. It was in November last year when the professionals in a certain field, they can exchange their experience. The Russian specialists who came on this mission, they were from a far region also, not from the capital city. And they have a lot of experience of working with local ethnicities. So they could discuss with Nepali specialists about the difficulties of work with a language barrier, with the different ethnical and cultural background of people, with maybe even some religious beliefs that do not allow the doctor to participate, but still how can you help a person in these situations? Plus, the specialists were in such various fields, from cancerology to pediatry. And they could share their experiences from Russia with Nepali specialists. And from their feedback that we got, they got a lot of revelations, lots of new knowledge from Nepali specialists as well. So these kind of mutual projects, which help to develop both countries, is what we aim at in our relations and our activities nowadays.
Till now, what aspects of your work has been so much rewarding to you?
We still have to go back to educational field because when I arrived in 2022, there were only 18 scholarship quotas provided by Russian government for Nepali candidates. And next year, we extended this number through the reserves of the candidates up to 42 students, and for this year we've already received official scholarship quota of 40 positions. So I expect that in future years these numbers will be growing, and I consider this the best achievement of Russian House, because the number of 18, 16 was held yearly for more than 10 years. And finally, we have moved from this position to increasing of the scholarship quotas.
What has been the most favorite Nepali food to you till now?
Nepali food?
Yes.
Well, of course, thalia. Yes. Well, since I'm a vegetarian, it's very hard for me to find anything within the Kathmandu Valley. Nepali are fond of meat. Yes. So for me, I would like to mention some discoveries of Nepali cuisine, which I could never have tried if I stayed in Russia, if I never visited Nepal. The main discovery to me is saag. That the fact that you can do something out of plain greens so tasty and so rich in elements, to me it was a very good discovery. And of course paneer. Paneer, you can do anything with it, and for the cuisine of vegetarian, it's a very useful product.
Yes,
so
and there are so many ways of making.
exactly, yes.
that cuisine,
You can also
paneer.
diverse your table
That's true.
with it easily.
Okay. Geographically, Russia and Nepal are quite far away, but both countries take optimum benefits for mutual benefits. And what should be further endeavors to execute plan of actions?
I'm sure you realize that I'm not the one to tell these things, yes? But in my opinion, also since I arrived in 2022, within a year there has been raised the question on a governmental level of direct flights between Kathmandu and Moscow at least. I'm sure that if there will be a mutual understanding between two sides and this will happen, so that there would be no transit countries, there will be a direct flight, even if it's long, it's a lot more comfortable than spending some time in a transit zone. I'm sure that it will increase the relations between our countries a lot more. Because even we as a cultural organization trying to promote Russian culture in Nepal, trying to arrange some visits of Russian specialists, experts, cultural activists, or maybe even writers, poets. It's very hard, the hardest part for them to agree to a visit to Nepal is the price of the tickets. And I'm sure that if we arrange some direct flight, it will lower the price, and it will also help the travelers to be closer to the Kathmandu.
And also we share a very long bond, 68 years, long relations between two countries, isn't it? And lack of direct business links and inadequate knowledge of now. How can this be raised into a qualitatively new level in coming days?
It's very hard for me to say about this because we don't deal with economic cooperation much. It's more a question for the embassy. But as far as I'm concerned, even Russian House took part in organizing some visits of Russian delegations on the government level, including the Russian Chamber of Commerce. It happened in the beginning of this year. As far as I know, there was an investment forum in Brikuti Mandap where some Russian representatives also participated. Yeah. So we have a steady visits, and it goes for the vice versa as well. There was a St. Petersburg Economical Forum this summer. Right now, just recently has finished the Дальневосточный, Far Eastern Economical Forum. And as far as I'm concerned, Nepali delegates visited these platforms as well. Not to mention the platforms such as Cultural Forum, Women Leadership, and these kind of projects which aim for developing of the whole world in general, just creating some professional community and keeping this community in touch and making it creative. This is also what Russia aims at, and what we get some feedback from Nepali participants as well. But I wouldn't call the lack of knowledge as the weak point, because in 21st century knowledge is everywhere. You just have to search for it and it's there. So obviously if there is no search for knowledge, there is a lack of interest, more like that. And I can assure that there is no lack of interest from Russian side. Any initiative, any suggestion from Nepali side is being redirected directly to Russian representatives of the field of interest, and we try to establish connections immediately, as soon as possible.
Nepal attracts a big number of tourists from Russia every year, and it has been recorded 10,000 people from Russia who come here as a tourist every year. How do you see from the angle of tourists to make how do you see from the angle of Russia to make Nepal as a tourist hub?
Like I already mentioned, visit to Nepal for any Russian tourist is always a discovery. It's like visiting another world. So the historical background of the country is completely different for the Russians. So it's not like going somewhere which you heard of or you know something with some kind of a prejudice already. It's always the impressions are being put on a clean sheet completely. So these kinds of impressions, I think that it's within the power of Nepali people to manipulate what kind of impressions will be imprinted on the pure mind of a Russian tourist. What I think in general about Nepal tourism industry and how it can attract Russian visitors more, I think that the elite sector still needs to be to have more development because in general, in the tradition of Russian tourism, the hiking, the trekking, the rafting, they are very popular within Russian territory. So you cannot attract Russians for this in here because in Russia it's cheaper. It's more available. We are talking about common language, yes, so there's always better understanding. So if you want to attract more tourists to your country, you have to provide some special services. That's why I'm thinking of elite sector. Elite sector is always, you can always see in Nepal how it's well developing. I've never seen so many five-star hotels on such a small piece of ground, yeah? So, but what we get the feedbacks from the visitors and what we can see for ourselves is that these five stars are not very much responding to the requirements of the elite customer. So if this will be developed in future, I'm sure you'll get more interested elite tourists from Russia.
Russia remains a prestigious place for Nepali students for their further education. What's your views on that?
I am very much encouraged about this, yes. I can share a personal experience of my first visit to Nepal in my position for the Russian house.
And on which year was your first visit in Nepal?
My first visit was in 2013.
Oh, okay.
I got into a function of Russian graduates, of the ex-students of Russian universities from Nepal who are now in Nepal. Working in some social services, government sectors. So I enter the lobby and I see hundreds of people, and these people come up to me naming the cities of my motherland, which I've never been to and probably even haven't heard much about. But these people have been there. They know about my country a little more than I do.
That's so nice to know.
Yes, imagine this kind of feeling, yes?
Yeah, you must have been felt very touched.
Exactly, and that's the feeling which I keep carrying through my stay in Nepal. Every time I see any Nepali person, I always keep in mind that it's a warm, friendly person, very attracted by some new knowledge, some new technologies, very always curious, asking about which country I'm coming from, what other different interests I have. These this interest towards the foreigners is always warming to the heart. But to see the graduates from Russian universities and to see their gratitude towards their alma mater, the universities that they have finished, and to hear about their progress in the country after they have gained our education, it's the most pleasant thing. So in recent years, we tried to shift the focus of Nepali students' attention from medicine and engineering. We are trying to incorporate a third point of interest is internet communication technologies.
As we know that Mitra Kunj has been doing some of the social activities in peoples to people level. What would you like to say on this? And also, could you mention some ways of working with Mitra Kunj?
A very good question, but I wouldn't limit, how to say it, Russian non-governmental activities within Nepal only to Mitra Kunj. Mitra Kunj is an organization of Nepali graduates from Soviet and Russian universities. By coincidence, some of these people are also members of other organizations. Some engineers, some are doctors, they also participate in other organizations. But on the basis of Russian House, we also have steady partners such as Friendship and Cultural Association, Literary Association, and these groups, they sometimes contain, they have members from Mitra Kunj as well. So Mitra Kunj, I would call it like a nationwide organization for establishing friendly ties between Russia and Nepal. This is the most popular because any graduate can enter. And it has, as far as I know, it has representatives in every district of Nepal. So these are the alumni from Russian Federation who graduated with some specialty, came back to the country and are aiming for developing their maybe hometowns, their hometown rural areas, or developing even the capital area also within the knowledges that they have brought with them. So the Mitra Kunj as an organization may seem not to organize much functions, but each and every member of this organization is bringing good to the country, because most of them are engineers, most of them are doctors. You cannot expect a specialist with such a degree not to bring any use for the society and for the country. And throughout the years, since the middle of 20th century, this has been the main politic of Russia, to provide the higher education for the specialist and return him back to the country so that the country would be developing. This is the main aim of us giving the higher education.
Since we shared very long bones of 68 years, so we can just add some points?
Sounds yes. Like I already mentioned some of the pivotal points in our relations. I can add, if you don't mind me speaking of our activities of Russian House, because it gives me a special pride. One of the most steady-going projects that we are realizing together with Nepali communities is the National Children Theatre Festival, which we hold in the beginning of each year, jointly with schools originally from the Valley of Kathmandu. Now we have already extended ourselves to other regions. So, if I'm not mistaken, this year a school from Japa has participated in this festival. So we've made it from municipal level to federal level already. And it gives a huge pleasure to watch how it grows. Because when we started this project, it was few schools from Kathmandu, maybe from around the block, 5, 10. Now the number of schools has increased up to 20-25 of participating schools. And if we go meet with some principals or representatives of some schools, as soon as they find out that we are having such an event yearly, some of them even make decision to organize a school troupe to participate in the festival. And even if they do not participate, to arrange a school troupe for children to develop their stage skills, to manage their stage fright, their lexical skills, any kind of activities which stage provides is a good opportunity, because as far as I know, there is not much classical tradition of theater in Nepal, more like a dancing, closer to Russian ballet, closer to Russian opera, but spoken word theater with actual drama happening. I don't think you can count more than 10 for the whole country, troops like this. So, and imagine it's 25 schools already in this. So if we just invest some more effort, some more encouragement for these kids, probably after 5-10 years we will be having a theater in every town, who knows.
What has been the most challenging aspects during a tenure here in Nepal?
The most challenging, the most memorable, the most of the most, almost the point of the life is 2015, of course. I'm sure every Nepali understands the earthquake of 2015.
So you were here that time?
Yes, yes. Okay. So it brought lots of challenges to Nepal. It brought lots of challenges to Kathmandu and to us as the part of Kathmandu. Nevertheless, we are foreigners, but we are still living within the community. It was a pleasure to see how Russian side helps Nepali as well, because Russia has sent 2 planes of the Ministry of Emergency Situations, and they were helping not only within the valley, as far as I know, but they visited out of valley some locations, providing some professional help, providing analytics on the construction strength, for example. They brought some unique equipment with them. So to see that we are also part of this, to see that people just didn't lay on the ground and started crying, but to see the nation unite and help each other and to be a part of it as well. It was the most encouraging experience in all my time here, that's for sure.
As we can see, entire world is watching about Russian movements at present, about the different situation which is going on. What would you like to say about this?
I would say that what everyone says and what everyone realizes, that the media coverage of what is happening is not objective. And I'm sure that everyone understands this. So if we talk about an objective position of what is happening in the world, from Russian side, a lot is happening for the development. We are having an international forums, like I already said, investment forum, economical forums. We have a huge development of the BRICS association. We have joint projects within the Shanghai cooperation. We are participating in a lot of international projects supported by our friendly countries. And to me, it's a question of time when the whole world will join this movement.
Finally, would you like to say about something that which we are not able to cover, and also would you like to give some message to the viewers who are watching you right now?
Thanks to your questions, we've covered in our interaction quite a lot. I don't think there is much needed to be added. The year is not over yet. We still have some huge projects coming on. We have a Russian ballerina coming with some master classes and workshops. We expect that before the end of the year we will be starting a mural project together with Nepali artists to promote Nepali art already. And this will help establish cultural relations between representative of Nepali art and Russian art. To us, to Russian House, from our side, what we can wish to Nepali audience is to keep up with your curiosity. Never step back if you see something unknown, never be feared of unknown. Try to research unknown. And Russian House, which used to be called as Russian Center of Science and Culture, is a key to understanding of the world. So I would just recommend to come to us more frequently, enjoy our activities and enjoy our premises. We will do our best to make them more interesting for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we wish you all the best for your tenure here in Nepal. Namaste.
Thank you very much.
Info Plus, for genuine information.
Thank you so much, Anton Maslov, for taking the time to speak with us today. Your insight into the dynamics of Russia to Nepal relations have been both informative and thought-provoking. We appreciate your candid responses and the depth of knowledge you have shared. To our viewers, thank you for joining us. We hope you found the discussions as engaging and insightful as we did. Stay tuned for more interviews and updates here with me, Rebecca Chetri, on Info Plus. Until next time, goodbye, take care, and namaste.
Info Plus, for genuine information.